New rule issued by the Department of Homeland Security presumes that migrants are ineligible for asylum unless they follow lawful pathways into the United States. But what does that mean for migrants here in San Diego along the border? In this special report, CBS 8's David Goffredson takes us step by step through the asylum process.
The Department of Homeland Security really does not want migrants crossing illegally here at the border. Take a look at this piece of video posted by the DHS secretary on Twitter.
People who arrive at the border without using a lawful pathway will be presumed ineligible for asylum.
But just because you're presumed ineligible doesn't necessarily mean you are ineligible. That presumption can be overcome. And in fact, many migrants who cross illegally at the border here will be eligible to apply for asylum under Title VIII. So let's take a look at the process. All the video you see in this report was shot over the past 2 weeks here in San Diego County.
Title 42 ends and hundreds of migrants wait for days between the border walls near San Ysidro, technically on U.S. soil, meaning they had crossed unlawfully. Women and children are the first to be loaded into the Border Patrol vans. Later, single male adults are picked up until eventually the border wall encampments are completely cleared out. I follow this bus carrying migrants to the Imperial Beach Border Patrol station. Families with children wave at me from inside as they are taken into custody to be processed. Other buses take adults with no children to this $15 million processing center in Otay Mesa. The migrants first undergo an initial screening, a critically important questioning session conducted by a Border Patrol agent. No attorney is present. If they fail, they're done, right?
They are done.
Veteran immigration attorney Tammy Lynn says, depending on how they answer these initial questions, they could be deported and banned from seeking asylum for 5 years, or they could pass the test and get a chance to stay in the United States.
Why are you here in the U.S.? Why can't you go back to your country? Have you been harmed in your country? Do you fear harm in your country? And based on what they say, they'll either be, expeditiously removed and the process is over, or they'll get to the next step with ICE and then potentially with an asylum officer to do a credible fear interview.
The credible fear interview is more in depth and establishes whether the asylum seeker has fear of persecution or torture in their home country. Migrants also get a criminal background check, medical screening, and finally, a date to appear in court.
Most folks who are seeking asylum are adamant that they want to get to their court cases. They want to get their day in court. They want to be able to have their case heard by a judge.
Next step in the process, they're bused to one of several hotel shelters in San Diego and Imperial counties run under state of California contracts by Catholic Charities or Jewish Family Service. Migrants stay in these hotel rooms for just a couple days to take a shower, charge their cell phones, and speak with relatives. At this point, they are free to go.
All the folks we're seeing at the border are not staying in our communities. A majority of them are going to be going to other parts of the country, and we're already seeing that.
Some leave the hotel shelter in Ubers or taxis. Others are transported in charter buses out of San Diego County to cities all over the country. And many migrants are bused to San Diego International Airport, where they get help printing out their boarding passes and then fly away to live with sponsor families.
America, it's good. I like America. In my country, we have war, terrorists, so it's not easy.
Some will have to wait 2 or 3 years for their final hearing in immigration court. David Goffredson, CBS 8.
Thanks, David, for that breakdown. Now, Customs and Border Protection emailed CBS 8 a statement encouraging undocumented migrants to use the CBP One mobile app to schedule arrival times at ports of entry before they seek asylum.